I think people have this perception of him that he's this monster that wakes up every morning looking for trouble, and that's exactly who he isn't. I think his nickname, Sugar Bear, kind of describes him perfectly, and it's one of those nicknames that, you know, you become who you are. And you know, he is a big guy. He's like a bear, you know, and he protects his loved ones, and he, you know, fights for what he loves.
One of the biggest misconceptions is that Suge was the aggressor, or he set out on a path looking for trouble. The fact is, he was invited to this location for what he believed to be a friendly discussion. He came unarmed, having just been shot 7 times 5 months earlier. I think individuals think he was looking for trouble. That couldn't be further from the case. He got a call from somebody who he presumed to be a friend and came to discuss his role in terms of being paid for the use of his likeness in the movie Straight Outta Compton. Bone hops from hiding behind that wall and immediately rushes towards the truck of Mr. Knight. They begin to show Mr. Knight their guns at that point. Mr. Knight is scared. He realizes this is the ambush, and there's cars coming off Central, as well as Mr. Knight says another assailant approaching with a gun. So you have your attackers on the left, an assailant on your right approaching with a gun, and houses directly behind you. As you can see, Mr. Knight didn't have the option of going to the right. So his only option is to drive forward, out, and try and get some level of freedom by driving out to Rosecrans. And that's exactly what he did. And then to add insult to injury, Mr. Knight voluntarily turns himself in, tells his version of the story, and is arrested.
Mr. Knight went in to talk to the police because he didn't see himself as a suspect. Mr. Knight saw himself as a victim, and he went in to cooperate with law enforcement to clear up this situation, to explain to them what happened, to explain to them the danger that he was in.
I'm now raising our son and trying to explain to him that, you know, Daddy didn't do anything wrong, you know, and it's hard because, you know, I'd like to know that my son has, you know, belief in the justice system and how it works. And it's kind of hard to, you know, when my son's trying to figure out why he can't visit his father.